many different types of things can clients say to you in that first step? Their first step, how many different things can they say to you? They ask you questions, Jarrett, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're looking for something.
They have a want or a
They have a want, a need, or a want. And they say it sometimes. Hopefully they do always say it, right? They send you an email. They fill out a report card, an online information sheet of something. Info at.
They have a problem. Or
They have a
issue.
problem. They have an issue. You guys with me on this?
Yep.
But I have a quick question for you to summarize all that in one fell swoop. You ready? All the different thousands of things they can tell you so we can keep moving here this morning. You ready? Thousands, is that fair? Hundreds? Things they can say to you. Interest, curiosity, need, want. I gotta have it yesterday. I heard good things about Total Scope. Yada, yada. They get thousands of different things they can say to you. True or false?
Yeah.
And how can we put it in one step there? And it's 3 letters. One word, 3 letters. All those thousands of things. And it's our way of sharing with you what might be happening in their system. I said might, so don't hammer me when you hear this word if you haven't heard it yet from us. I'll give you a hint. Is everything what they're saying the truth? The whole truth? Nothing but the truth, so help them God as they talk. Why are you saying no, Tom? That was a quick, I didn't get the end of the question.
I haven't experienced that.
I haven't experienced that. And neither have I. Anybody else besides Tom and I have not. Present company excluded. You guys have always told me the truth, right? So if it's not the truth, Jared, what might it be in step 1? So guys, if you don't want to write that word in there, then put another word. If you want, what's a synonym of lie, or in your own opinion? If you don't like the word lie, what could it be? What? Fib. White lie, withhold. They didn't tell you the whole story. Not total disclosure. They held something back. You guys get it? So it doesn't make them bad people. Anybody besides me in the room, and I know I'm an old fart. 38 years in the business. I'm a lot older than 38. What's that?
They're just scared to be sold. That they're holding on their wallet.
And let's not even go down Scott's tunnel, even though I like his tunnel. Do we really need a PhD or some kind of a therapeutic certificate program to understand why they're doing that? And it could be true. But it's just suffice it to say, as I'm stealing your thunder, they're doing some version of this, yes? And is anybody besides me in the room maybe more totally forthcoming with a salesperson in your entire group? I'm the only one? I'll go. 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like popcorn watching. So they're not bad people. We
haven't earned the right for them potentially to let us know what's going on. They don't trust us.
I like about Scott, and I'm being serious, he's always like a step ahead of me, and I like it. But I'm not as smart as Scott, or you, Drew, I think, or you, Jared. This guy did all that research about the whys behind the whats. We're going to touch on it, but not as deep. It's important to know it. It's more important to just know that, hey, in step B, they might be lying to me a little bit. Get it? I want to get to point C. I want more successes for my life. I want to take care of the customer. I want to take care of my company, and I want to take care of me and my family. True or false?
True.
Isn't that it? What else is there?
Yep.
There's you and your family. That's your world. There's your company. It's called capitalism. It's an entity. It's an animal. It's inanimate. Needs to be fed, right? Capitalism in its truest form. Got to keep feeding it. It doesn't think. It has no emotions. You have the emotions. You want the big house, the nice vacations, the lifestyle. Got to feed the animal, and the only third thing left in a capitalistic society is the customer. You've got to take care of all three. So we just recognize it. And don't miss the message today. What'd you learn in Sinton's class? Well, boss, not much. Except he told me to knock on a door today or call a client, or when they come in and just cut the client off and say, hey, Mr. Smith, I get the feeling you're lying to me right now. Where are you going to find yourself real quick if you do that today?
Back in the car.
Out the door, back in the car, or on the road somewhere, or hanging on another phone call. But if you recognize it, and obviously keep it to yourself, but hey, when you said you're ready to get started with the job, Mrs. Smith, by next week, can you tell me a little bit of what that meant? You're almost ready to get ready. You're almost ready to start the job. Maybe, so we're going to show you in some people skills training how to deal with the lies very nurturingly. So Scott said something a second ago about you haven't earned the right yet. I'll go with that. But even before you earn the right to get them to tell you the truth, have an advanced, what we call human relation skills training. Advanced for business people, not advanced for PhDs. Advanced for people, for business people like you and me, to increase the chances exponentially of getting Mrs. Smith here or Mr. Jones to be more forthcoming. Yes? To be more specific. So you both are on the what? Same page moving forward. No maybes, what ifs, wishy-washiness. very nurturing way what he kind of created, learning from a lot of behavioral psychologists how to deal with this. Step 2, what I was saying earlier, as I was mixing steps 1 and 2 together. What do they know about you? If they see your name, they got referred to you, they've seen your airplanes flying around. If you haven't heard of Horizon Service, I mean, you must be living under a rock the last 10 years in the Philadelphia area. Yes, sir. No disrespect to the rest of us or whatever. But what do they already know about you? If they're even though they haven't given you dime one yet, Jared, what do they know about O'Donnell or Telescope? Huh?
Everything that we market, everything that you put out.
Yeah, like they, at some level, you have something they
Reputation.
want. What's that?
Reputation.
It could be reputation. They might want some. But how about as it applies to them? They may want what? Before they buy from, they want to know your what? Come on, you guys all have it. Product, what's the product going to do for them? Solution. So they want your expertise, guys. Write it down in the second step. They want your expertise, kind of big picture. They want your knowledge. You know, what would you do if you were going to be in this business? If you were selling me what, kaleidoscopes or something? What do you guys do? Kaleidoscopes and doctor stuff? Yeah. What kind of heating, cooling system? What kind of computers, insurance, high tech, low tech? They want your expertise, they want your knowledge, and the third thing in step 2, they want to know how much is this going to what?
Cost.
At some level in capitalism, you got to give them pricing, or they want pricing. That's what they want. So you guys see step 1 is some version of a lie for whatever reason. Scott was going to go down there earlier. Who cares necessarily right now? They want your expertise and knowledge, and put a circle around step 2. We call this the proverbial dog and pony show. Now, it's an antiquated term. All of you have never heard the term before, because I'm dating myself, the old man in the room. A dog and pony show comes from the circus, a dog and a pony jumping through hoops and putting on a show. And typically, that's what amateur salespeople do. Third thing in the ground rules, professional versus amateur. Mike, thank you. So if I didn't learn a darn thing from Sandler over 26 years, there's amateurs out there 30 years ago when I met Sandler 26 years ago. Fair enough, in different industries, there's amateurs. Amateurism, yes?
Okay.
They're around today, and they're going to be around when I'm long gone. You agree with that or not?
Yep.
So what are you going to do about it? You know what? You can do what successful people do, which is don't worry about it. I'm just going to change my behavior and do something else. If my competition's doing it, I'm going to stop doing it. I'm going to grow my company organically. I want Mrs. Smith and Mr. Jones and all my clients, at least to the best of my ability, either buy from Total Scope or not buy from anybody. You get the difference there, guys? And that's idealistic, an idealistic goal. I get it, but it's achievable. I didn't necessarily believe it 26 years ago until I finally learned how to do that, okay? But you're probably not going to do it because there's amateurs all day long doing dog and pony shows. You want to do a dog and pony show? What reason am I up to? 45, don't come back here?
Yeah.
If you just want to do dog and pony, we're not going to teach you that. We're not going to teach you how to do the glitz and glitter and the steak and sizzle and show them the color brochures and the fancy websites and PowerPoints and do, you know, throw up and, throw up? Show up and throw up and do the gift of the gab, do the telling isn't selling, and all that stuff that amateurs know how to do pretty well. I want to show you how to do something totally different than this problem. Whose system is this over here?
Prospect.
It's their system. They're in control. They got you right where they want you if you fall into this trap. Step 3, what if you through a process, this is 15 minutes long, guys, or Scott, 45 minutes long, or this is 4 hours. Or we have clients sitting in these chairs. You're going to see them in future Friday morning classes, advanced classes. It takes them 18 months to get through these 4 steps, if you will, 18 months to sell a product. I'm sitting right next to people that see 6 customers a day because they're taking our training and they're applying it to their world, yes? But in this example, whether it's 15 minutes later or 2 days later, 2 hours later, step 3, and I'm going to paint a bad picture here for the last 2 steps. In a client system, if, for example, they don't buy from Mary Smith. Mary Smith works at ABC company selling widgets. You guys with me? Mm-hmm. And she doesn't know how to deal with this, or she doesn't even know about Sandler training, and she doesn't know how to deal with this. And in step 3, she calls the company up and says, hey, I sent you the proposal. We met a few weeks ago, a few hours ago, a few days ago. What's happening? And the prospect says something like this. Something like this. You guys stay with me, okay? Oh, Mary, thanks for calling. I didn't get a chance to call you back. The tax return check didn't come in. Things have changed here at the company or my household. I'm getting opinions from other people, but I gotta tell you, Mary, your presentation, or where did Mary do the presentation? Was one of the best ones I ever saw, and I really appreciate the bottle of wine you sent me. I think push comes to shove, all things being equal. If this happens and that happens and that happens, there's a good chance, high probability, someday we're gonna be doing business with you, Mary, at ABC Company. So with all that stuff, to stop the role play, did the client just, in step 3, just also, like step 1, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help them God, Melinda says?
No.
Why'd you say no? Real quick like that, like Tom said it quick earlier. What was that? Is that a lie too?
They're politely denying you.
Yeah, I like that. No, it could be what Melinda's saying. It could be some other reason. But suffice it to say, similar like I did back here in step 1, if this is a lie, let's call that number 1, which makes this one what? Some version of number 2. Guys, don't take what I'm saying literally. Remember that rule. What does the multiple lies look like, Drew, in your world? And as I'm asking you rhetorically, Drew, or Tom, or Jarrett, or Scott, you guys got to know. So you know how to use our training to deal with it very effectively without what? Pissing the client off. Big part of our training, yes?
Yes.
So this is lie number 2. Now, more bad news. Last step, you got 4 bullet points on there, or you're in this upside down lie. Their system's going to end right now. Can I end it with a bad note, Drew? Is that okay? Here comes Mary's boss says, what's happening with Ed Smith, the prospect at ABC Company? Another couple. She goes, wow, they didn't call? Be my boss in the call. Is that okay? I'll be Mary.
Sure.
That amateur salesperson. You mean Mary Smith from ABC Company that didn't buy from us yet? That person?
Yes.
You mean that she didn't call?
No, hasn't called.
She said she would. She said she was going to call. And now it's your problem, or maybe my problem. But I'll give her a call. Now, guys, listen to this example. What if at some level, capitalism again, they're either going to buy from somebody, you, somebody else, or what's the third option? Nobody. Fair? There's only 3 things that can happen. Somebody else could be the incumbent vendor. Yes, it could be you, or nobody. What else can possibly happen? That's it. What if in this example, I'm an amateur salesperson, Mary Smith did one of 2 things. We just don't, Mary Smith the prospect. 18 months later, 4 hours later, 2 days later. You guys with me on this one?
Yep.
She either bought from somebody else already, or she chose not to buy from anybody. Now, neither one of those 2 examples, options, good for me and my boss, Nicole.
Negative.
No. Fair? But what's the moral to that story? Nicole and I, my boss, and I'm sorry to bring you into this mess. Nicole and I don't know it. You guys, and guys, I want to slow down. I know we got 30 minutes left to show you these 7 steps over here, which are on your next page. Don't flip the page yet. But I got to tell you, how much money? Let's talk like, put your big girl's hat on, put your big boy's hat on, be an entrepreneur. Are you the president of You Incorporated, Scott? I know you've heard this before. It's an oldie but a goodie, goodie but an oldie. It's a cliche, been using for the last 30 or 40 years in the business. Be the president of Tom Kane Incorporated. You will set the world on fire. If you treat your sales job entry level, $8 an hour, or you're making $80,000 a month in income, or $800,000 a month in income, and anywhere in between those radical range I just gave you, you will be more successful at your job. With the concept and the what do you want to call them? Not statistics. The distinctions of what does it mean to be the president of Drew Brady Incorporated. Not like a punchline. But I do have to make payroll Friday. You're an entry-level salesperson. What's payroll? That's your personal budget. That's your bills. That's your sending your kids to private school and college education and vacations and trips and living a life you love and living it powerfully. That's your damn payroll. Yes? You'll get there quicker, more easily if you're the president of You Incorporated. So why'd I do that? You tell me as the president, Melinda, of Melinda, I'm going to, nice Irish name, right? D'Alessandro. Dallas, did I say it right?
Yeah.
Dallas, close enough, right?
Yeah.
Dumb Irish guy, right? Dallas, president of Melinda Incorporated, or Drew Brady Incorporated. Tell me how much money you think's going out the window in step 4. Back to the role play. I'm going to call Mary Smith, right? What do we, if we had a crystal ball, which we don't, Mary Smith did what? What did she do? 1 of 2 things. What were they?
From somebody else.
Or,
Buy
and we don't know it yet.
Right.
You multiply that by 40, 50, God forbid, salespeople in a company, 2 people in a company, 600 salespeople I'm in front of periodically at Pfizer, for example. You multiply that, when I call Mary and she sees caller ID, is she necessarily going to go out of her way to pick the phone up?
Nope.
Because it says Bob Sinton, ABC Company Services. Is she really, people go out of your way and sit down with you, buy you a cup of coffee, Jared, and spend 2 hours with you and tell you why they didn't buy from you? When's the last time that happened? So, DA, they don't answer the phone. What's DR mean? You leave a message, what might they not do? Don't return. How about voicemail? So guys, I don't want to belabor the point anymore. I do a 2-hour clinic on step 4 here, which just, it took me a lot of years to get the cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching going where? If you got 2 salespeople doing this, or 5 people in your company, or God forbid 15 or 20, what's going on in step 4? Give me a word.
Consultant.
What's that?
Unpaid.
And I'm going to remember what Scott said in a minute, guys. 2 words: unpaid consulting. Let's back it off a little bit. What else is going on here? I mean, give me your own words. You got salespeople, you or other people in the company, leaving messages. They're not returning. Giving voicemail.
Wasting time.
You're wasting time. You're chasing people.
Right.
So how much money, guys? And I like doing it this way. I'm not so good of an artist, I am. That's a window. Money's going out the window. Do you guys see that?
Focusing on the wrong.
And then amateur salespeople are going to justify it as long as the day is to my boss, and that's just what happens. Well, there's nothing you can do about it. We're about to embark on a trip here with Sandler Train. There is something you can do about it. There's no perfection in this world, but there's a strive for excellence. You can vastly reduce unpaid consulting that Scott talked about. You can vastly reduce how much money's going out the window by dealing with this crap, and this crap. That's my word, by the way, real advanced. Crap. Take a pen, circle all 4 steps. Before, well, Scott already beat me to it. All 4 steps, Scott, are called what?
Unpaid consultant.
Unpaid consulting. But before I move on to the right side, I want to see if you guys got your big boy's hat on here, big girl's hat, or you're sleeping with your eyes open. What's going on in your company, Nicole, ABC company that you own, or Harris Services, if there's some of this going on? I'm looking for Nicole's, Tom's, Jared's, Drew's, and the rest of you, adjective. Scott's on record, he's got to get out of jail free card, because he said unpaid consulting. Yes, that's what we call it at Sandler Training. How we avoid unpaid consulting is what this ongoing training looks like, in part, as well as dealing with head trash and everything else. But what word comes to mind, Nicole? If any, what's that?
Wasted time.
Wasted time. Come on, guys, I'm looking for adjectives. Obviously, hopefully they're negative. If you say this is good, I don't know what you're doing in here. If you like any of this. Or if you just say that's just the way, and that's okay. Say, Bob, that's just the way life is. Nothing you can do about it. I just don't know if I can help you though. What adjective comes to mind, Tom, for you? Or words?
The typical process, that's what I've seen that before.
So what do you think about it?
Yeah.
Guys, these questions aren't just for Tom, they're for everybody in the room. He said, yeah, that's typical. I agree with him, what's happening out there. But how do you feel about it, Tom?
Frustrated.
Frustrated. Go, Jared.
Dead
Huh?
end path. It's a dead end trail.
Dead end. Are dead ends typically like a positive cliche in America or negative? Yeah, dead end. Drew?
I don't know.
Don't know? That's all right. That's okay. All answers are good. I know I'm putting you on the spot. Melinda, what comes to mind with any of this going on? Guys, I'm looking for real 6th grade kind of language here. It separates us from the animal kingdom, right? We have feelings. What are they? Melinda?
I don't know, I was just gonna say it's like a lack of respect.
Lack of respect. I love that one. Good job. Allah.
I would just say like it sucks.
Sucks. I'm with Allah on that. Paul?
It's a downer.
Downer. Scott, you got one more?
Yeah, depressed or angry.
Depressed, angry. You got one, Drew? You see where we're going with this?
Pissed.
Pissed. And I like sucks, and I'm with Drew on that. I'm pissed. And guys, at some level, I'm not telling you have to feel that. That's why I like doing this exercise. We call it unpaid consulting. If you're okay with it, then I'll be the first one in line that says that's your prerogative. It just doesn't make you a lot of money. And that's some kind of a natural law of business that I can't put my finger on. When you're doing more of this, there's less of a chance of you hitting your goals. There's some kind, because we got the clock in the back of the room, right? The clock's a ticking. The 10 years ago flying by. I met Sandler in my late 20s, and I said, oh, I'm young, I'm full of piss and vinegar, right? I got that retirement. It seems like yesterday to me. I'm a little bit older than 20, just a couple, 3 years. And I'm having children at 50 years old, so I got a lot of goals and dreams I got to accomplish in my life. And the fact is, guys, this doesn't help you get there, because that clock is inanimate. The world, I think it's the world, right, 24 hours or something about the world, the sun, the moons, the stars, or water or something, right? That's where the 24 hours comes from. Yeah, and so, but it doesn't stop. So let's waste a lot of time here. How's that sound? That's a good plan, isn't it? Let's waste time. Let's be pissed off. Let's have a downer. Or let's stop doing the unpaid consulting and doing something that's a little more effective, called a what? This buying system, what will be over here? Your what?
Selling.
And if you want to write selling, write selling.